All right, everybody, it's the week after Thanksgiving. Let's talk turkey. You heard me. I'm talking that guap, that cheddar, that green, that mustard, baby. Let's pluck it off the trees and figure out what it's all about. And specifically in this video, we're going to be talking about grading cards. There's a lot to grading cards. This isn't a video about how to prepare your submissions for grading. This isn't really a video about how cards are graded, but it's a video about the value of cards graded versus raw and why that makes such a big difference. Let's slide on into it. I have on my screen the starting point for almost any Pokemon discovery work that you're doing on the internets, which is tcgplayer.com. That's because it's a very extensive catalog of all the cards Pokemon's ever created, and you can sort them by set or by number or by any way that you really want. But also in front of me, I have 10 cards that I'm preparing for a PSA submission. PSA is an outfit that grades cards. What grading cards means is some credible entity looks at the cards and gives them kind of their official seal of approval with a certain grade, 0 to 10, and then they slap a label on it and they put it in a plastic case in which it is really never to be opened again. And with that label at the top, you can bet all your bottom dollars that that card has not changed from the time it was graded. Grading cards is a very effective tool to increase their value and add credibility to the cards that you have in your collection and to make them much more liquid assets, which means that they're easier to buy and sell. So I have 10 cards that I'm gonna submit to PSA. Here's the 10 cards. Oh boy, it's a murderer's row right here. These are the best cards I got. So these are the 10 most valuable cards I have, with a few exceptions. I included a couple that I'm very sentimental toward. You may notice the Magikarp Whale Lord Pup Tag Team Uyama card right here, which I did not pull from a pack. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched my other videos, go over there and give them a watch. I bought it on eBay and I bought it raw, and it's, you know, it's a good looking card. This is not a base set Charizard. Don't go losing your pants. It's an Evolutions Charizard from the XY, which means it's a reprint. You'll notice the first indicator of that is the attack doing 200 damage and the way that the attack like energies are positioned. They used to be stacked. It is a very rare card. It's a very valuable card, so it's still one that I want to have graded. I have the shiny Charizard V that comes in Champion's Path, the Pikachu VMAX Chonky Boy, Secret Rare, which comes in the most recent set, Vivid Voltage English set, the Lovers Latios alternate art, a beautiful card, which I pulled from Team Up blisters that I have a couple videos about. Go check those out if you haven't seen them. And then Mewtwo Secret Rare GX, Zacian Secret Rare V, Shining Mew from Shining Legends, Pikachu Secret Rare from Cosmic Eclipse, the Magikarp Whale Lord GOAT card, the Gardevoir Sylveon. This is like a really special fairy, like, I don't know, very unique art on that one. Another valuable card. There's the 10. We need to look up what these cards are valued raw, because we're going to do a little math in this video. And if you're a little afraid of math, come with me. I'll shepherd you through. It'll be okay. Math's there to help you. There's a lot of great insights that we can glean from calculating the value of these cards in their current form and then comparing that to their graded counterparts. Let's start top left here with our Charizard Evolutions. On TCG Player, it will tell me a market price for that card. It's basically an aggregate of all the places that that card is being sold. It gives you a pretty fair market value for what the card could go for in its raw form if it's like pack pulled, perfect condition. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a valuable card. That's almost a $100 bill on one card, which came out of a $3 pack. So sick. Next card is that Charizard V shiny Charizard from Champion's Path. Champion's Path was an expensive set. Every pack had a holo rare or a ultra rare in it. This one was the coveted beast of that set, and it shows it with the price tag of $386. That's a very expensive card. I'm not sure you could get that for this card raw unless somebody watched you pull it from a pack. Otherwise, just go spend $400 on Champion's Path and try to pull it yourself. The Chunk Another very valuable card, 234. That's come down a bit, started at 300 back when this card was impossible to get because no one had Vivid Voltage. So I bet this card lands no lower than 150, but it could stay above 200. So very valuable card. The Latios Lovers Art, the most valuable card in the team up set. And I was fortunate enough to pull it. $85, around 86 bucks raw. So great value in that card. Amazing. Here's the Mewtwo GX, which is, yes, from Shining Legends, and it's showing me $71 on that one. Here we have Zacian V. It's around 55 bucks. Shining Mew from also Shining Legends, $50 for that card. Pikachu Secret Rare from the Cosmic Eclipse. I'm sentimental toward this card. I just think the art takes you all the way back to where it all started. That's $34. Then the Magikarp Whale Lord, 32 bucks there, and the Sylveon Gardevoir, $30. So I did the math for us, so don't worry. All those raw cards, you add them up. $1,000 worth of cards, a little bit more, give or take. These are rough estimates. You might be able to get more from somebody on any given day for this specific card, but let's talk grading. So say these cards are perfect, meaning there's not a scuff or a scratch, which that's the easy part. If you pulled this straight out of a pack and put it in a sleeve in a card saver, there shouldn't be. But let's also say that the centering is perfect, which means the way the card was cut, something you have no control over, was done with precision and exactness, which you'd hope every card would be, right? But no, unfortunately not. I don't think any of these are incredibly off-center. The Pikachu VMAX, you'll see on the right side that border is just much fatter than that left side. The camera might kind of distort that, but trust me, it's real. I'm just gonna be the most optimistic young bug boy that a bug boy could be and say all these get PSA 10s. Where do we go to see what those are worth? You go to eBay, because eBay is where those cards are being sold. And like I said, once a card is graded, it becomes much more liquid. People listing raw cards, a lot of it is going to have to do with how the picture was taken, what surface you set the card on. Was it in a sleeve or a card saver? Did you take it out? I always don't trust listings where the card is out of a sleeve, even for the photo. Even if they think, I'm just going to take the card out of the sleeve for the photo, I'm out right there. So there's all these factors that go into a raw card being purchased. And that makes it much harder. Not only that, the volume of cards that are being sold raw on eBay is much greater than the volume of graded cards. You cut through some of the BS when you have a graded card. We need to look at eBay. Let's look up Evolutions. That's the set this first Charizard came from, Charizard. And let's go PSA 10. Now this is gonna give me a list of everyone who's trying to sell the card. This doesn't give us a good idea. That person could be asking way too much. That might never sell, or somebody might lowball offer them and they accept it because they're getting desperate. We need to look at completed auctions or sold items. So you go down here and on the left rail, you'll see these filters. You click sold items. It'll also check completed items. These items have been paid for. Somebody paid this price. This is not hypothetical. This is not wishful thinking. This is reality. Let's look and see if we can find a PSA 10 of this Charizard. One other note I'll make. I pulled this card fresh out of a pack. It looked perfect. Centering looks awesome. Honestly, a little bottom heavy, not too bad. I think PSA might let that slide, but I don't know if you can see it. There are these print lines. It's hard because the card saver's over the top of it. Oh, there you can kind of see one at the top above his wing. There are these lines that cut across the hollow foil. They're called print lines. Those print lines will eliminate your ability to get a PSA 10. And once again, that's outside of your control. There's really nothing you can do about that. So for this card, the rules are a little bit different. The population of PSA 10s is low. I could look that up. Maybe I'll include it in the video. Compared to how many PSA 9s, 8s, other grades there are, the distribution is going to be off because there's so few PSA 10s. And that's kind of a known thing about this card. So it will be interesting to see if we find a PSA 10 on here and what it would go for. Also, this card's in a bit of a bubble. People are hyped on the base set, but they can't really find it anymore. At least not for anything that most people can afford. So they're going to the next best thing, which is this Evolutions version. And it's a very similar looking card. Like I said, just a couple of things different about it and the set that it came from. You'll see there's a ton of raw cards on here. I just searched for Evolutions Charizard PSA 10. It's still showing me raw cards because people are saying in their title, PSA 10 question mark, which they're trying to game the system a little bit. So there's a reverse holo. This doesn't deal with the print line issue because it's not the actual holo on the Charizard part of the card. It's when the foil is around the picture. A lot more 10s of those, and those go for about $1,000. So pretty awesome. Really awesome, actually. Here's a reverse holo 9, went for 300. Amazing. Still have not seen the PSA 10. Let's see, price. Let's go 1,500 to 10,000. Here it is, $6,000. That's confirmed price, PSA 10, Gem Mint, Evolutions. This exact card in a PSA 10, $6,000. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Like I said, that's special for this card, but they're hitting you with the 60-time multiplier in value for getting that graded. That's kind of insane. Let's go to the next one. Let's get a more realistic expectation. So you remember this Charizard, 386. PSA 10, I found one that had just sold for around 900 bucks. I also saw some that sold for a little bit more than that. Like here's a combo for 2,000. I mean, nice combo. 800 for PSA 10. So this is giving you a more realistic idea. 845, right? Great. PSA 10, $800 to $900. You can find this card in PSA 10. That's because this one might be a PSA 10. Like this is well centered. I think there's no print lines. There's no reason to believe it wouldn't be. So there's a lot more PSA 10s out there for that one. Let's go to the Pikachu. PSA 10 just sold for $1,200, around $1,100, $1,200. Partly because this card is really in demand. It's really relevant in the card game. It's the hottest, newest card. So this one will drop down below 1,000. You probably shouldn't buy it right now. You should probably just wait a month and it'll be lower. There you go. Like those prices are volatile. But let's say it's a $1,000 card, PSA 10. I mean, that significantly increases the value. Great. Latios, Lover's Art. Remember, that's an $80 card raw. $400 here in PSA 10, 400 bucks. With that Latios, Lover's Alternative Art, I think 406 is some sturdy ground to walk upon. Mewtwo PSA 10 from the Shining Legends, $330. So $300, $400, depending on how motivated the buyers are that day. I think that's pretty fair that you could find that for this card if it was graded a 10. Zacian V, right in that ballpark as well. $300 looks like about the right price for a PSA 10. Shining Mew actually gets a bit of a bump. It's an older card from Shining Legends, so $325, maybe even $400 you could get for this card if it was perfectly graded. Cosmic Eclipse Pikachu, we could see that card going for $300 to $400. Somebody got $460 out of it. So like I said, all depends on kind of how motivated a buyer might be that particular day. Magikarp Wailord, that one, honestly, not very expensive, and I'm thinking about copping the 10. This is English right here, Towering Splash. PSA 10 for 100 bucks. I love it. 125. So that one's cheap. That's a great opportunity right there. Pick up a awesome PSA 10 card. And then the Gardevoir Sylveon, also $100 is what it's selling for currently. So we just ran through all those cards, saw what they were in PSA 10. It varies card to card, and the hype around the card factors into how much increase there will be from raw to graded, and the population of how many are in each grade could have something to do with it. Like in the case of that Evolution Charizard, there's just no PSA 10s out there. So the scarcity drives that price way up, and PSA 9 probably sits much lower, much in the more conventional range. I typically expect to see, and let's go to the chart on this one. Here's our raw value. Let's go graded. We see we go from 1,000 to 10,000. So the multiplier there is 10 times. That's distorted by the $6,000 price tag on a PSA 10 Evo Charizard, which is hype. I don't know that it's going to stay that high, but also it's because of that low population. Maybe it will. Let's take that one out of the equation. Look at the other 9. We have $4,000 for those other 9. When raw, they would be around $900. So times 4 is probably a more precise multiplier for a ungraded raw but pristine card to its graded PSA 10 counterpart. If these are all 9s, here's what we would see right here. So 300 on that Evo Charizard, it comes way down. That must have to do with the population. I'm sure people are pulling these out, knowing they're valuable, getting them graded. They're not hitting 10s. Maybe at 1 in every 100 submissions is hitting a 10. But that might mean that there are just a ton of 9s out there. So don't go paying $1,000 for a PSA 9. You can find them for 300. People are buying them for 300. And if you want a 10, look at that reverse hollow alternative. You can find one for $1,000. So it's a 2 times multiplier. I go from $1,000 to $2,000, roughly double the value just by getting these cards submitted and graded. Now, it will take some time to get them submitted. There's some risk involved and it costs money. I have to essentially get a membership at PSA, and then it might be $10 to $20 a card. So you don't want to submit cards that aren't worth anything, unless you're really sentimental about those cards and want them for a personal collection. I might do that with some of the other Uyama cards. Totally up to you. But if you're looking for an investment, make sure the card is worth it, worth the $10 to $20 it costs to get it graded. I think in this case, all of them are. Even this Gardevoir Sylveon, which goes from $30 to maybe $50 at a PSA 9, and maybe I spend $10 or $20 getting it graded, it might be kind of a wash. Long term, the value will go up. It will go up enough to make it worth it. And maybe I just want that card as part of my collection because I like it. So let's wrap it up. Let's look at a comparison of all of these. So we see here that we had raw cards, 10 of them, in perfect condition, pristine condition, pack pulled, no damage. They have never been played. Those cards could be sold for around $1,000. And that's nice. That's a treat. That's a ball and dinner at Red Lobster. Take the whole family. But maybe I just want to take it to that next collector level. I want to get them graded. And I hit gold, all 10s on all 10. Then I'm sitting there at $10,000. It's easier to sell the things on eBay. People know what they're getting. And I'm making 10 times what I was before. But even if you get the 9s on all of them, $2,000, double my money, still worth it. $200 to $300 investment to ship them off and get them graded, in my mind. Here's my actual grading projections. I took a look at these cards. I took a fine tooth comb and combed through them. I think that these are what these cards will come back. I'll do a follow-up video in 6 months or 9 months when I get them back, and we'll see how close I was. That's money, baby. That's money in the bank. In 10 years, that could be $35,000. Who knows? That's why people are so obsessed with getting cards graded. That's why you hear a lot of hype around, is it a 10? Is it a 9? Is it blah, 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 blah. Because of money. Cash rules everything around me. Think hard before you send your cards in. Always remember the wise words of our good friend Notorious B.I.G. that with mo money comes mo problems. All right, guys, it's been great talking to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully that breakdown made sense. Hopefully all this research that I did will be beneficial. And if you like videos like this where we're talking more about the investment or some of the collector aspects of cards, let me know and I'll make some more. We'll catch you next time. Bugs, brigades.
Pull the shiny Charizard, I'm feeling so alive, yeah. I am like a legendary flying through the sky, yeah. Put you in a binder, you know I could treat you right, yeah. Sleeves on top of sleeves, great intense is what I like, yeah. Promise this is not a fad, it's so much more than hype, yeah. I've been cracking packs since the time that I could write back. I was just a kid saving quarters on his nightstand just to pull another item finder from a light pack. Pay the grip, I'ma blow it quick. Pray to Pikachu we hit, or I'll throw a fit. Like the tail on Charizard.